5 years had passed since then, but Kelsey was still stunningly beautiful. Excited about the reunion with my ex-girlfriend, I couldn't sleep that night. Here's to Tyler's birthday and our reunion, cheers! With that, my friend Josh called for a toast, and everyone simultaneously raised their glasses. Feeling a bit ticklish inside, I joined in the toasting with everyone, and then took a sip from my glass of gin and tonic. Let's drink up and celebrate today! As I exchanged smiles with Josh, I felt truly blessed to have such good friends. I'm Tyler, a 30-year-old single office worker. Today, in celebration of my birthday, for close college friends and I planned a 3-day stay at a fancy hotel in downtown New York. One of them had won a free stay at a luxury hotel in a magazine sweepstakes. All of us were from New York, but since some friends worked elsewhere, we gathered to splurge on luxury at the hotel and visit the latest hotspots in New York. It had been a while since we last met, but we were having a great time. As the drinks flowed, the conversation naturally turned to personal topics, and I was asked by Josh, "So, Tyler, have you found a girlfriend yet?" At the mention of girlfriend, I sobered up a bit and replied with a smile, "Unfortunately, not yet." Then, led by Josh, everyone encouraged me saying, "Tyler, you're a handsome guy, you could find someone easily if you put your mind to it." Their words were much appreciated, but deep down, I wasn't ready to start a new relationship. In fact, there was a woman I hadn't been able to forget, even 5 years after we broke up. Working for a major advertising company, I had been in the PR department at the headquarters 5 years ago when I was 25. That's when I met Kelsey, who was working at a major design company, during a business deal. At that time, I was 25 years old, and Kelsey, who was 2 years younger, was a 23-year-old. I was immediately charmed by her, as she was not only excellent at her job but also exuded elegance. With her fair skin and cherry lips, she was strikingly lovely. There was a reason for her elegant demeanor. Kelsey's father was a wealthy man, and she was raised as a lady from a prestigious family. Upon learning this, I worried if someone like me, from an ordinary family, could ever match up to her. But Kelsey was always friendly and approachable. "Tyler, hard day at work, cheers." "Cheers." Saying that, the two of us clinked our glasses. Just hearing her initiate a toast was enough to recharge me, no matter how tired I was from work. Our time together was always comforting. As our business interactions grew more frequent, we started going out for drinks regularly and began dating. However, her father didn't think too highly of me. Coming from a very ordinary family and having graduated from a regular private university, I was not seen as a suitable match for Kelsey, who had attended a prestigious university. However, every time, Kelsey encouraged me. Indeed, my father opposes our relationship for now, but he understands how dedicated you are to your work. Ultimately, he'll accept us because my happiness comes first. Let's take it easy. Kelsey smiled at me kindly, so I said, "Thank you," and gave myself a pep talk. Determined to be united with the woman I love, I resolved to work even harder. But things took an unexpected turn, and I was suddenly transferred to a regional branch. The unexpected transfer had shaken me, but my boss at the time encouraged me wholeheartedly. He had been sent to a regional office in his 20s just like me, but his achievements there had earned him a promotion back to headquarters. Hearing this, I spurred myself on, thinking, I won't give up. I'll do my best with the tasks at hand. But now that the transfer was decided, I first needed to tell Kelsey. When I told her, she said, "I want to come with you," which made me want to propose to her then and there. If Kelsey was willing to commit her life to me, I wanted to love her with all I had. However, I suddenly received a message from Kelsey's father saying, "I want to meet just the two of us." Thinking that I needed his blessing if I was to propose, I agreed to meet. When I arrived at the cafe he had chosen, Kelsey's father greeted me with a stern face, making me nervous. "Tyler, thank you for coming all this way today. I apologize, but as a father, I must ask you to break up with Kelsey." Oh no. I knew he was opposed, but I couldn't let go of Kelsey just yet. As I was about to argue, Kelsey's father started explaining his reasons. My wife was recently diagnosed with a severe illness and given a limited time to live. Kelsey doesn't know yet. But I want her to be by her side in her last moments. Realizing that it would be too much to ask Kelsey to come with me in such circumstances, her father continued. Kelsey has her own career, and I want her to marry someone suitable. Hearing this, I felt a stark awakening. I had been selfish, but as her father mentioned, Kelsey had built her career where she was. It would be wrong to disrupt her life when I wasn't even guaranteed a return to the headquarters. Finally, Kelsey's father said, "I'm sorry, but I'd like you to keep quiet about our meeting today to my daughter," and then he left the cafe first. Though I had been determined to be with her, I now felt a sense of despair that it might never happen. Perhaps I was not the right match for Kelsey after all. Without telling her about the meeting with her father, I broke up with her, and she was initially shocked. "Did I do something to make you hate me?" Seeing her light brown eyes moisten, I felt a tightness in my chest. I couldn't hate her. I still truly loved Kelsey. That's why I had to break up with her. "Sorry, but with the transfer to the regional office, I'm pretty shaken up. I'm overwhelmed with my own issues. So I don't think I can be there for you." Kelsey simply said, "I understand," and ultimately accepted the breakup. But even after 5 years, I still couldn't forget her, nor had I fallen for anyone else. As I was drinking, thinking of Kelsey, I couldn't get as drunk as I hoped. The other members seemed to be having a good time, so we decided to head back to our rooms to prepare for tomorrow. "Tyler, are you okay? You didn't seem to drink much." "Of course. It was really fun drinking with everyone after so long. I'm just going to stop by the shop, go ahead back to the room." Wanting to cool down, I told Josh and started wandering around the hotel lobby. That's when I saw something shocking. Kelsey was sitting alone on a lounge sofa. Overwhelmed, I walked over to her and asked, "Kelsey, is that you?" She also seemed surprised and said, "What? Tyler?" 5 years had passed, but she was as beautiful as ever, and my heart began to race. I never thought I would meet her here. At first, I just stood beside her and said, "It's been a while." However, when told to have a seat, I took the offer and decided to sit down. We sat on the sofa together, chatting over coffee for a while. Honestly, after the way we had parted, I thought she must have completely disliked me by now, but Kelsey was as friendly and open as ever. "I never thought I'd meet you here, on your birthday of all days." "Ah, you remembered. What brings you to this hotel today?" Curious about her reasons for staying, I asked her. "No, actually. I'm staying here because I have a matchmaking meeting tomorrow noon." The mention of an unexpected matchmaking meeting hit me like a blow to the head. Yes. She's like a princess. She's 28 this year, so it's natural for her to have a matchmaking meeting. While I was trying to act natural so that Kelsey wouldn't notice my shock, she updated me on her recent life. Actually, 2 years after we broke up, my mother passed away. It would have been too much for my father alone. So staying here was probably the right decision. Hearing this, I felt truly relieved. She seemed satisfied that she could be there for her mother's last moments. A caring daughter like her would have brought her mother happiness. While enjoying our conversation, I checked the time and realized that we had been chatting for about an hour, so I decided it was time to leave. To tell you the truth, I was afraid that if I stayed any longer, I wouldn't be able to control myself. "I'm sorry for keeping you, especially since you have your meeting tomorrow." "No, it's okay. I was nervous about tomorrow and couldn't sleep, so it was nice talking to you. Good night." With that, we said our goodbyes and left the place. When I unlocked my room with the keycard, everyone else was already asleep, but I couldn't sleep due to the excitement. I was the one who broke up with her, and I know that staying here for her mother was the right decision. But why can't I forget about Kelsey? All night long, I thought about her and unsurprisingly, I didn't sleep a wink. Despite feeling tired, I thought I shouldn't show it to my friends, so I acted cheerful at breakfast. Today, we're going to tour New York, so I need to change my mood. However, as noon approached and we were about to leave the hotel, I started to get anxious. Kelsey was supposed to be having her matchmaking meeting at the hotel. I knew there was nothing I could do if I went back, but I couldn't help myself and lied to my friends, saying, "Sorry, I forgot something at the hotel," and hurried back. I didn't understand why I was acting this way, but when I arrived at the lounge where we had spent time yesterday, I couldn't believe my eyes. There was Kelsey's father, arguing with her. And, because I had just shown up, Kelsey's father was shocked. "Tyler, why are you here? You didn't orchestrate this meeting to sabotage her arrangement, did you?" Confused by everything, Kelsey defended me. Dad, no. Tyler has nothing to do with this. I just hated the idea of the matchmaking meeting and ran away here. It turned out that the matchmaking meeting was a lie. And she had actually run away from home because she couldn't stand the persistent matchmaking meetings her father was pushing on her. Kelsey's father, who had often used this hotel for family events, had suspected she might be here and came looking. This chance encounter made the situation even more complicated. Despite Kelsey's objections, her father wouldn't back down. The man from the matchmaking meeting is wealthy, so you wouldn't need to work like you do now. Your late mother also wanted your happiness more than anything, so you should accept this proposal. No. I don't want a marriage like that. Why are you forcing me into this now when you supported my career until now? After breaking up with Tyler, I've poured everything into my work, and I can't just give that up. Her words made my heart race. I hadn't realized she had been so devoted to her work. I disagree with forcing her into a matchmaking meeting if she was so against it. I also oppose the matchmaking meeting if Kelsey isn't keen on it. But my words seem to backfire in the emotional turmoil. You have no say in this. Didn't I tell you before? A man who gets sent away like you isn't suitable for Kelsey and can't make her happy. What? Dad, you said that to Tyler? Overwhelmed by emotions, Kelsey was appalled that her father had revealed the truth he had intended to keep secret. That's when I decided to reveal the truth too. About that. I've actually been promoted back to the headquarters after 5 years. Oh. As expected, both were greatly surprised. Kelsey's father was so shocked he was speechless. I then explained everything. Even after we broke up, I couldn't forget Kelsey. So I worked relentlessly and, as a result of securing a major deal, I was recognized and I am now returning to the headquarters. Of course, I didn't expect we could get back together. But becoming a man worthy of her and approved by you, sir, was my only goal for the past 5 years. Yes, ever since then, I had been waiting for an opportunity to return to the headquarters. And to celebrate my return and my birthday, I was celebrating at the hotel with my friends. As Kelsey teared up from the impact of my words, her father, with a solemn expression, began to speak. I see. Kelsey, Tyler. I apologize for losing my composure earlier. I'll be staying at this hotel tonight to cool down. Afterwards, I'd like to have a proper discussion with you, Tyler, if that's all right? I hadn't expected Kelsey's father to want to talk again, just like 5 years ago. Kelsey looked worried when she heard this, but I was already planning to stay another night at the hotel, so of course, I agreed. Later that evening, when I returned to the hotel and explained everything to my friends, they were surprised but warmly saw me off. Meeting your ex on your birthday, that must be fate. Hang in there, Tyler. Thanks, everyone. I thanked my friends, including Josh, and began preparing to meet Kelsey's father at the bar he had designated. I was determined to fully commit to reuniting with Kelsey, the woman I love. After a light dinner, I headed to the bar where Kelsey's father was already waiting. As I approached him in the dimly lit bar, he encouraged me to order a drink. Once our orders arrived, Kelsey's father slowly started on the main topic. Tyler, I truly apologize for my behavior earlier. I had no idea you cared so deeply for Kelsey. Seeing him calm and able to discuss things put me at ease. He was heated because he cares so much about his daughter. It's okay. Either way, it was good that Kelsey stayed with her mother. Yes. Despite her busy work, Kelsey fully supported her mother. My wife in heaven surely wants nothing more than her daughter's happiness. That's why I've come to realize that you are the only one for her. Hearing that, I couldn't help but smile broadly. You mean? Yes. I'll permit you and Kelsey to marry. Please, take care of my daughter. Then, we toasted with our glasses and decided to drink and talk together. Though the alcohol was tough on my sleep-deprived body, I wanted to celebrate this night with good spirits. I had never thought that my feelings over the past 5 years would come to fruition, and the joy was even greater because of it. Moreover, once we started drinking, I was surprised at how easily I could speak frankly with Kelsey's father. I had always thought of him as a strict man, but in reality, he was cheerful and a kind father who deeply cared for his daughter. We drank heavily together, and by late night, stumbling back to the hotel room. Arm in arm, Kelsey was astonished at our state. I can't believe you guys got this drunk. To really understand a future son-in-law, one must share a drink and talk. Right, Tyler? Exactly, father. Yes, both of you should rest now. We have to check out tomorrow, so don't oversleep. As Kelsey went to get some water to sober us up, her father looked me in the eyes intently. Tyler, I'm truly sorry. I've been a poor father, but please take care of Kelsey. No matter how drunk I was, his sincerity was painfully clear. All the quarrels have been swept away by the liquor. And yes, with pleasure. And so, even in our drunken state, we finally reconciled. When I returned to the room and I reported to Josh and the others that I had received approval for our marriage, everyone was thrilled. Let's drink to celebrate, Josh exclaimed. So, as I expected, we drank ourselves to death that day. Thus, after a reunion spanning 5 years, Kelsey and I were reunited. Kelsey, too, had not been able to forget me while she cared for her mother and had spent all this time alone. Now back at headquarters, we were both ready to engage in fulfilling work again. How do you find being back at headquarters after 5 years, Tyler? There are still things I'm getting used to, but now that I'm back, I'm going to give it my all. That's the spirit. Let's both work hard for our ideal wedding. As Kelsey smiled, a diamond engagement ring sparkled on her ring finger. I was determined to work my hardest to make my beloved woman happy and prepare for our wedding.